Branding Iron, and I have Athletic Director Evan Smith with me. Evan, man, coming into a new year, a lot of hopeful students coming back to school pretty soon. What's the athletic department been doing to get ready for these kids?
It's always fun to start a new year. Coming out of the summer, some of our fall sports started mid-July. Started practice, and they're all excited. We've done a lot of work on some of our facilities, trying to get things ready for the year, and we're excited and ready to go.
Well, one of those facility changes, I've noticed at some of the football games, you had some water problems. You've got some new sod on the field. Talk about football a little bit.
Yep, we had some winter kill on our grass, which a lot of stadiums around here did. So we ended up having to do some renovation on it, and we've got it going and kind of getting everything ready for that August start date.
Well, and everybody around the state is anticipating some changes, and especially in 4A classifications. What's up with the classifications that you're running into?
So right now, we usually know at Coach's Clinic in July what the classifications are for all of the sports. Right now, we're in a little bit of delay because there's some changes going on at the OSSAA. So we're kind of in limbo a little bit on what the classifications are going to be for some of the sports. But we hope to find out here in the next couple weeks.
Well, we are privileged to have Coach Murray and Coach Law here to talk to, but we have a special guest too. Ron Potter, the band director, is going to be with us today.
Absolutely, yeah, we're glad to have him. It's going to be a fun year for band too. They do some pretty special things on the field during football and other sports as well, and we're looking forward to that.
Well, great food and great times here at the Branding Iron, and when we come back, we'll be talking some football with Coach Jason Murray.
Hey guys, this is Sean with Play It Again Sports, and we have a pretty exciting month coming up. We've been really busy, so we need your help. One of the main items we're looking for is used baseball gloves. For example, this right-handed throw Mizuno first baseman, original retail $149.99, at our store $49.99 used. A little bit older, but also a classic Nakona. Our retail $129.99, original retail $249.99. Play It Again Sports, we buy and sell new and used sports equipment.
Family owned, the Branding Iron, a variety of great foods that everyone in your family is sure to enjoy. Order online or dine in. Make tonight every night at the Branding Iron. Harrison Discount Pharmacy is concerned about our overall well-being. The Labyrinth on St. Gregory's Abbey grounds. If you're stressed, a walk in the Labyrinth may help you feel better. Harrison Discount Pharmacy, a good neighbor pharmacy. Back at the Branding Iron with Coach Jason Murray. Jason, man, you're starting a new year, whole new crowd. Tell us a little bit about your seniors, how excited you are this year.
Oh, we're excited about the season. Every year you're excited about the upcoming season. We got a good group of kids and a good group of seniors especially that we think have the opportunity to have a really, really special year.
So what's going to make this team stand out that's different than perhaps your last 2 years?
I think overall they should be stronger. Coach Horton, one of our football coaches, also runs the weight room at school, and he does a fantastic job. And we were talking about the other day that the junior class will be the first class when they graduate to have had access to a weight room all the way through, which is so huge in football, being such a physical sport.
Jason, I was going to ask you on your skill positions. Do you pretty much return everybody at the spots? Or?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much everybody in the skill positions are returning. So that gives us a lot of optimism. We still got a lot of work to do, but yeah, we're sure excited.
On your offensive scheme, Jason, do you yourself personally favor the run over the pass, or do you use one to complement the other?
Usually you use one to complement the other, and it's high school football. We have different sets of kids kind of each year, and so in college they can sit there and go, hey, yeah, we're spread and we're throwing it all over the place, but they get to recruit to those positions, and we have to coach whoever walks through the door and take whatever skills and abilities that they have and use it to be as strong as we can or be the best that we can. So it really just depends on what our skills and abilities are for each year. But I mean, me personally, I think you got to be able to run the football to have success.
Yeah, I would certainly agree with that. And I'm wondering though, as you look at this squad coming back, where do you think the strength of your team is going to be? What are you going to rely on game in and game out?
I think one of our strengths is going to be our skill positions, like Coach Smith alluded to. Our secondary, they had a really good year last year. Had several interceptions and big plays and things like that. And so we think we match up with a lot of people really well there. Our linebacking core, fast kids, strong, and so our defense has been a strong point. Coach Birch is our defensive coordinator, and he just does a fantastic job along with our other coaches, and our defense has been a strong point for us every year.
I think preseason we were picked number 4 in the district, and I think we're kind of looking forward to that. How are the first few games lining up for you on that?
First few games, we'll open up with Little Axe, and we won that one last year, and was a double overtime rainstorm, lightning delayed, whatever you want to call it. But it was memorable for that reason. And then we play Preg, that was a playoff football team last year. I think they only lost one game in the regular season, if I remember right. And then Holdenville, which was another playoff team. So those are our first 3 before we get into district play. So, and they all kind of have different styles, and so we'll get to kind of see a little bit of everything.
When we start setting goals, now's the time. You're going to start talking about that with the kids. What is the goal for the team this year?
Everybody likes to sit there and go, hey, we want to, make the playoffs or whatever, which that's all well and good. But the most important thing is, what are the things you have to do to achieve those goals, which is you got to get better each and every day. You don't want each day, you want to take a step forward, not a step back. And so, just having great attitude, great effort, and being tough, mentally and physically tough. And if you can do that and get better each day, then, you're going to get as far as you can go.
Well, the facilities out at North Rock Creek are great, but you guys pack the stands. Jason, what does that mean to the kids for all the fans to be out there and having a good time?
Oh, it makes a great high school football experience for those guys, and they love it, and they feed off the electricity of the student section and the fans. And the way our setup is right now, we'll walk from the locker room down to the stadium before the game, and it goes right through by the concession stand line and things like that. So there's a ton of people around, little kids from the youth league, little league, high five and whatever. And so it's just it's a great feeling for those guys and a great atmosphere.
Well, as athletic director, and we're talking to the head football coach, how do you envision a success come mid-November or mid-December from the athletic department's standpoint?
Yeah, I think, the football team in general has been growing. We've been young every year. We've kind of getting a little bit older now, and we've just gotten better and increased and gotten better every year. And we've started Little League now, so the football program from the bottom up has really gotten better. And I think, with that all being done, everything's just going to take care of itself. And, come fall, mid-fall, I think everything's going to be looking good for our program.
Well, I agree with that. And come fall, also, we have volleyball starting up. And volleyball was the first to qualify for a state tournament, I believe, as a high school 2 years ago. We've got Coach Rachelle Law with us, who guided that team. And Jason, we're going to boot you, and we're going to bring Rachelle in right after this. At McElroy and Owens Funeral Group, your loved one never leaves our care. From your first phone call at the time of loss through final resting, we are with you. Stop by McElroy and Owens for a visit today. Sonic Drive-In originated in Shawnee, serving great food fast to your family. Drive up, order, and eat in your car. Now, more than 3,500 stores worldwide, it's Sonic Good at our local Sonics. Clinic Pharmacy across from the hospital has something for you. Boutique items in Shawnee. All your pharmaceutical needs taken care of at the Clinic Pharmacy. Back at the Branding Iron, great food, great people, and we have another one with Coach Rachelle Law. Coach, this year, whole new year, you've come with 2 years in your background. Your first year, you get to the state tournament. Last year, we didn't quite make it. What's going to set this year apart that makes you different from the last 2 years?
These girls came in, we just finished our team camp at Wichita State. They came in with a fire. We've never lacked in talent. Just really excited to see how they produce.
Well, from a player's standpoint, you have a new group of seniors. They're always your leaders. Tell us a little bit about your leadership class.
We have 3 seniors this year. Chloe Casterkey, who's a beast on the net. She totally controls. She's ahead in blocks, and she has great setter hands, and she can fly. So she's excellent at putting the ball down. And then we have Molly Smith, who is in a lot of ways the life of our team. She's an excellent leader. She has a strong presence on the front row. She steps in and handles defense when she needs to also. Then we have Olivia Terrell, who totally controls and commands the back row. She communicates what's happening on the other side, and she's our little fireball.
So I wanted to ask you, Coach Law, how is practice going since you've kind of started 2-a-days? Is you seeing some good success out of that?
It's been really great. We've changed a few things in our approach, and just our workouts being more tailored to volleyball specific instead of just getting in shape overall. And we're already seeing a big change in that. And also in just the attitudes of the girls, and the energy level is up. It's been a really positive atmosphere. Everybody's starting to jive as we brought in all the new freshmen, and then our new leaders stepping in and taking over, and it's just been a really good week.
That's good.
That is awesome. And the atmosphere, again, I know I mentioned that about football, but in the gym, it gets really loud during football. During volleyball. It's a lot of fun to come and watch. How important is that for you and for the girls? Do you get responses from the girls when the crowd is just going crazy?
Yes. So, like in any sport, you feed off of that. And we usually have a pretty good turnout that show up for our girls, and we hope that continues this year.
I think our student section has gotten better each year, and as volleyball has been new to some, and so as volleyball's grown, it's gotten a little better each year, and I think we'll get there again.
Well, there's no better entertainment value than high school sports. It's $5 or so to get in, take the kids. There's always good things to eat, and in fact, I think your wife runs the concession area to make sure it's all
Actually, that's
handled.
Mrs. Christy Potter.
She's coming up next,
Yeah.
Christy Potter. Yes.
Yeah.
Always good things for the family out there. When you're practicing now, I know that you've already, Coach Law, kind of isolated perhaps some things that you know the team is going to have to work on and get better at in order for you to reach the goals that I know that you have set. Talk a little bit about that. As coach, what are your main concerns this year that you know you got to work on?
We have a couple things that I think our goals are the same as what you're asking. We're looking to communicate on what happens on the other side of the court. So we're watching the other teams more, communicating what's open to our hitters. Also, as those attacks are coming, where are they coming from? Those kinds of things really help us in our defense and our offense. And then a big goal for us is trying to get to the next level in our offense. We need to run it faster. And so that changes the tempo of our passes onto our setters, and then a faster approach from our hitters too. So it takes everybody to do that. That's been a gap between us and other teams in the state tournament, and of course that's what we're pushing for.
Do you feel like now, Coach Law, after you've been there a couple of years, that everything that they seem to kind of get in rhythm now in your program, and everybody just kind of knows each year it gets a little bit easier and understands things a little bit better?
They do start to learn our routines and things, but also each year we try to change it to get better. So we're not doing what we've ever done before, so that we can progress too.
Well, so as an individual, you're growing up, did you always want to be a coach, or what is it about coaching that you love so much that keeps you going?
So I had an incredible coach in high school, Lisa Pettit, and I was able to be like her assistant when I was in high school. So she's the reason that I'm a teacher and a coach. We still have a great relationship, and she's still that mentor for me. And so yes, since high school, it's all I've wanted to do.
That's cool.
Yeah, coaching's definitely a very rewarding career, and I think Coach Law's done a great job in doing that. So
Fantastic. Yes, you now are that mentor or that leader for many of the girls that you're coaching, and that's a responsibility I know you don't take lightly.
Right.
Next, we are going to bring in the band. On a coach's show, does that happen very often?
I think it does. We haven't had one with us yet, but
Yeah.
I think it does some. Yes.
Coach
It's-
Rachelle, Coach Law, have you ever seen a band on a coach's show?
No, but I'm about it.
Yes,
Let's get it.
we need to bring Ron Potter in. We're coming to you from the Branding Iron. Come on in on weekends and get some of that great Hardesty meats. We'll be back with Ron Potter. I almost said Coach.
Kind of is.
Coach Ron Potter right after this. Hardesty Market in Delaware, a real butcher shop for over 80 years. Daily lunch specials just like Mom used to make. Best cuts of meat and even better people. Your family at Hardesty Market in Delhi.
We always ask for Action Physical Therapy, and we always recommend it to our friends. When we're in the orthopedic doctor's office, they always give us the option, well, you need physical therapy. Do you have a choice of where you want to go? And we always ask for Action because we know Katie and Andy Landys, and we trust the service and the care that we're going to get there.
I asked for Action.
Do you want an easy car buying experience? Castor Keys on Harrison. No hidden fees, no price gimmicks. Castor Key Auto Mart for a fair and convenient car buying experience. Back at the Branding Iron, and we have Coach Ron Potter with us, Evan. How do you like that, Ron? Do you like being called Coach?
I like that. I like that. There's it's kind of a running joke with some of our buddies that some of us band directors approach things a little differently, a little more coachish, and that's kind of the way we like to run things.
So is that how your peers, I mean, do they put you in the classification of more of a coaches? Are you a coachish?
I think I'd be a coachish.
Fantastic.
I'd like to think I'm a coachish anyway.
I would think so.
I don't know what Evan thinks
His
about
office
that.
is pretty close to yours, Evan.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure. It's all just a coach's office.
Tell us a little bit about band. We get to see the band at halftime,
Right.
but not a lot of us really know the inner workings of the band. You guys are working all year long, and you are working as hard as any athletic squad out there.
Well, I mean, the great part is there's so much of it that sort of mirrors in a lot of ways what the coaches are doing. We've got the fall season that we start getting ready for, and trying to get ready for things for marching band, trying to get through the football season, but. Then we go into concert season later on, and for us, that's like our off season. That's like our weightlifting. We go in there to become better players and do better at what we're doing, work on things, so we can come out and be stronger again the next fall. So there's a lot of it that mirrors it. But it's interesting. You've got your brass side and your woodwind side and your percussion side, kind of like an offense, defense, special teams. And so you just got to mesh all those parts together in the way that fits that particular set of kids, just like you would do in a lot of other sports. So.
I was going to ask you, Mr. Potter, on the returning band people, how many do you have returning back, and how many did you lose, and kind of where are you at on that?
Well, wasn't as involved with bands last year. I can't exactly tell you on numbers in terms of returning. Most of our kids returned from last year. Almost all of our kids returned. And the great part for us this year is we had a very small senior class, one extremely talented student, but only one graduate. And we've brought in multiple freshmen, both from our feeder schools, from Grove and South Rock Creek. But we're going to be sitting somewhere in that 50 to 55 range this year, which is great because our first 2 years of marching season, we've been in that 30 to 35 range.
So. And you can really tell that on a football field. I mean, the size of your band.
Yes.
Is that exciting for you? Are you going to be able to do some new things for the crowd to be able to watch at halftime?
We are. The more we grow and the more we kind of get established and the students know what's expected and what we do, that starts to let us expand the drill. So we take up more field. We can expand more front to back. Obviously, we've got a few more horns, so we get a few more sounds. But the things that you're able to do with the drill, it's just that much more exciting when you're 30 to 30 instead of 40 to 40. So.
Well, I know for the band, from a fan standpoint, one of our favorite nights is when you shut all the lights off and there's like light, you're lit up on the field. Are we going to get that? And when is that going to happen?
We are. We like to do that late in the season. that's where we feel we can try to give Evan the biggest worry is of a heart attack. No, we usually do that at one of the last couple home games. It's late in the season, it's around senior night, but it also helps us that it's cooling off. And when we slip those lights off, they've got to cool off before they come back on.
Yeah.
And so that's after the halftime show. We're always sitting there with Evan going, okay, Coach Murray's getting ready to come back out. They hadn't cooled off yet. It adds an element of excitement for us too.
Yes, it does. It's a little scary at times to know if they're going to come back on. It's a waiting game, but they usually do come back on.
So far.
They have so far.
Well, talking about that, Evan, as basketball coach, I love it when the band is in that gym playing loud and proud. Talk a little bit about that and how it transitioned from outside to inside as band members. And I would think that your kids, and especially your percussion, really love the basketball games.
They do. They love to go to the basketball games. It makes it a little bit more difficult sometimes because you've got to line up the right amount of kids, the right instrumentation. So sometimes with jobs and other activities, it's hard to get to all of them. But it is so much more fun because by the time basketball season kicks in, we've moved into concert band. We're playing a different kind of music. It's a little more subdued. It's a little more refined. Not quite as much fun. A little more rhythmic. And so when they get a chance to play at the basketball games, they love it. They have a great time. And then we got Palm that we're trading off with, Cheer that we're trading off with. We got Mr. Russell over there playing all kinds of good stuff. So just that whole atmosphere, it's just fun to be a part of.
Yeah, it's. I think when they play at the basketball games, obviously it's in a small enclosed area, and so it just adds to the atmosphere, and it's great. And I appreciate everything you guys do with that at every sport. So,
and so one of the gifts of my job is I get to be in the office sometimes when tough moments come up, and there was a tough moment. I was in the office just the other day talking with Evan, and in walks Christy, and she says, "No, we're not going to do that." What was that all about? But all of a sudden the band's like, no, we're not going to do that.
Well, Miss Christie she sometimes will put us in our place, and we just kind of go along with it. So that's how it works.
She has reserved that veto power in a lot of areas.
Yes, that's right.
That's awesome. But what I love too is it was something about the band wanting to sit with the students and with their brothers, and they wanted to be in there with the crowd and not somewhere else. And do you feel that way as a director? Just the electricity that can be created when you're all together?
Oh, absolutely. When you're right there, and we typically sit right next to the student section, they're raucous and they're into the game, and then they're yelling things, and so just being a part of that energy, and then being able to play and the percussion play and feed into that energy, it's great. And if you move down to different parts or you kind of get separated from that, it's not so much fun for anybody. So have a good time with it.
Well, with band there, it makes it very fun, no matter what the sport is. We want to thank you and thank all the kids that partake in band. A lot of great talent comes from this area musically.
Absolutely.
And as I grow older, it's one of the things that I wish I would have done when I was younger was learn some kind of instrument, because that sure would be fun now to do.
Yep.
So let me encourage everybody, go out for band if you want to go out for band.
Come on out.
That's what the band director says.
Absolutely, 100%.
Bring it. And when we come back, Evan and I will wrap things up from right here at the Branding Iron. Coach Ron Potter, thank you.
Appreciate it, sir. Thank you.
For 25 years, Eric's has served you and your family for all your prescription needs. Eric and his staff love the community and love seeing you in the store conveniently located on North Kickapoo. Make your day brighter by visiting Eric's today.
For over 50 years, Fred's Tire and Battery has served Central Oklahoma with tires, batteries, and service for cars, trucks, and tractors. Friendly and affordable, with 2 locations in Shawnee. Fred's Tire and Battery, a name you can trust.
Back at the Branding Iron with Coach Evan Smith, Athletic Director Evan Smith.
Okay.
I'll take Coach from you, give it to Potter in the off season.
It's all good.
Right.
We wear many hats.
You can't have too many coaches.
That's right.
I kind of feel like we're all coaches, because I love the point that Coach Law made that coaches impact lives for the rest of their lives. I know some of the people that I remember, adults in my life outside of family, were coaches, that today I still think about things that they talk to me about.
Absolutely. I mean, even like, as small kids, you have little league coaches that make an impact on you. Even as you go through the school system, obviously you have coaches, summer league coaches. And, the cool thing about that is it's a community and we all contribute, to that kid's life, hopefully in a positive way and make things work well for them as they get older.
Well, the reason that I became a Cougar at North Rock Creek was because of Coach Hal Honeycutt. And in that period of my life, he was a very important person in my life. I mean, to this day, I still call him and say, hey, Hal, when are you coming on with us? Hal Honeycutt, when are you coming on with us?
Yeah, I actually know Mr. Honeycutt pretty well. I knew his family growing up, and it's definitely, those people make big impacts on your life, and it's pretty neat to see how that all comes to play. So.
Well, and coaches like to be talked about. I'm kind of wondering, is Hal really the mayor of Jacktown?
I would think so by now, yes.
He claims it. If you're in Jacktown and he's not, well, say something to him about it.
That's right. That's right.
Coming up, Evan, this fall, I know you're anticipating good things, but as an athletic department, you also have struggles. Is there anything right now that's kind of standing out that you're going, God, we really could use some help here, or we need some help here, or something that the athletic department could get better at?
Oh, we always look, to try to improve everything. Obviously, right now we're pretty blessed. We have good coaches and good school, good administration, and we have a lot of things going in the right direction. I feel like right now. Obviously, that's one of the things that I think makes us a pretty special place is we as coaches and teachers, administrators, we all kind of push each other to kind of get better every year and every summer. And so I think that's something that helps. But, at this point now, I think we're ready to get the fall going.
Well, how about a place like this, the Branding Iron, and how they show up for the Cougars? You invite the Cougar crowd out here?
Absolutely, yeah. It's a great place. When they're cooking those steaks, you can smell them outside, and it gets me coming this way. So, absolutely.
We'll be coming back to you all throughout the year from the Branding Iron, and I personally want to thank Coach Smith. He's made our experience at North Rock Creek just flawless and seamless. Thank you very much for coming out. I know it takes a lot of your time to be able to organize all of this and get it done.
Hey, no problem at all. Anytime. Thank you, Daniel, for everything, and we appreciate it.
Well, and together, all of us, Shawnee, remember, we build community one season at a time. We will see you next time from the Branding Iron.